do is a warm-up exercise. This is good for court sports, for field sports, just getting your lower legs warmed up, get your psoas muscles warmed up, get those hips loose. We're going to do what's called a fall into a sprint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out facing forward. I'm going to lean for my ankles. And as I lean and gravity starts to take me down, when I get to about a 45-50% lean angle, I'm going to start my sprint motion. So it's going to look something kind of like this. And what I'll do is that as we go through, we'll go into what's called progression. So as we would go slow the first couple of times to kind of get the movement pattern, as we go through that, what we do is actually just progress into a faster sprint speed out of that. Once again, leaning from the ankles. And that's how we warm up and get our athletes ready for a workout or an outdoor activity. Strength exercise. We picked a really good one. It's a deadlift. There's two variations. Sumo, which you have your feet out wide, hands inside, or conventional, where you use a little bit more of a narrow stance and you have your hands directly by your side. What I want to demonstrate, I'm going to demonstrate the conventional deadlift. This deadlift is good for almost every athlete that wants to build power and speed. It's one of the basics of any kind of program. The way we want to make sure that we do our deadlift is when we start out, we'll do address the bar. We want to make sure we're equal distance from the plate, so we're centered to the bar. So we're going to look down and check. We're going to have our feet forward with a small turn in our feet to make sure our glutes are locked, and we're going to push our hips all the way back and reach for the bar with our hips, not with our hands. Hands will be close by our side to allow us stability. Our hand is going to stay straight, so we have spine neutrality all the way down. Once we've encountered the bar, we're going to grab it with a really good grip with our hands. We're going to pull the slack out with our shoulders to make sure we have some scapular retraction. Then we're going to push through our feet, and we're going to pull the bar through a straight line all the way up to a good strong lockout with our glutes. We're not going to pull back, so we're not going to have some pelvic tilt here. What we're going to do is come all the way up to a good strong lockout, and then we're going to set the bar down. I'll demonstrate. I'm addressing the bar, making sure that I'm equal and we're centered. Turning my feet out slightly. That's going to open my hips up. It's going to really get my glutes tight. My hands going straight down by my side. I am using a snatch grip. Going straight down, pushing back with my hips. Spine staying neutral. Counting the bar. Pulling the slack out my shoulder blades. Pushing through my feet. Up to a squeeze. And then right back down. This exercise is for foot speed. We're using an agility ladder. Right here we have a strap mat here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called vertical in and outs. And what this is for, this is to keep you on the balls of your feet the whole time and to lessen the time of contact with the floor. The less time your feet spend in contact with the floor, the faster you're going to be. So we don't want to use heavy steps where we're sitting our whole bottom of our foot down the floor. We want to stay up, light, and on the balls of our feet, moving quickly, but keeping our core over the ladder the whole time. So we don't want to make a big lateral move because then you're not quick. We want a quick stab, staying in our athletic position, moving all the way down the ladder. So I'm going to demonstrate this slowly, then I'll go through it a little faster. I'm going to start off left leg. We'll go in, out, out. 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 Start out safely like that where your athletes are going really slow. Let them learn the pattern. A lot of times the new movement pattern they'll struggle with. And as they start to kind of pick it up and they kind of understand it a little better, just kind of let them go through it a little bit faster. As I'll demonstrate here. Same thing. That's a good one for foot speed. Any athlete out there can use that. Make sure your teaching points stay light on your feet. Keep your core over the mat. Stay in the athletic position all the way through. We've got an exercise here for hand speed. This is good for any athlete that needs quick reaction time with their hands. It's really good for football players, especially guys who need to block quickly, get their hands up to block, or to get a push off if you're a defensive player like a defensive back, to get your hands out quick, to get some press coverage on a receiver. It's also good for basketball players, quick hands, not only with the ball, but playing defense, tennis players, racquetball players, a lot of good things. What I've got here is I've got a belt with some bungee cords attached to each one of my hands, as you can see here. And the drill we're going to do today is just what I call quick reach outs. I'm going to do them alternately, and then I'm going to do them together. If you don't have access to something like this, you can also do this with just like a regular weight belt, and I'll just take a Elite FTS cord, bungee cord or a strength band, and I'll wrap it around. We use that also. You can go out, anything where there's some dynamic resistance pulling as you reach out to your full range of motion for those hands. So I'm going to demonstrate the first one. It's going to be an alternate. It's going to look like this. Once again, make sure they're in an athletic position. You're here and you're just going reach, 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 reach. And then we're going to do them both together. Reach, 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 reach. What you want to tell your athletes, your teaching point is to stay quick, go out and back really fast, and to have a little bit of a snap as you go in and out of that motion. This drill we're going to do here is for agility. I've got the stroop ladder out again. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some one-legged slalom hops. I'm going to start on one side of the ladder. We'll pick one foot up, and I'm going to go across the ladder in and out to the other side, going back and forth like that. And I'm going to go on my right leg. The teaching point here is to maintain your balance over this ankle and not let it lean in or out. But when you jump and you move your body, take your body as a whole. So if you were going to jump down a hole, don't jump where you would hit the side, jump where you'd jump all the way down the hole. So this is what it's going to look like. Picking up my left leg, putting all my weight right here in the front of my ankle, over my arch, on my right leg, and we're going jump, jump, just like this. And any time I should be able to stop, just like that. Now as your athletes progress, they should be able to do that with a little more foot quickness like this. Once again, taking your whole body, so if you have to stop, you can. And you want to do that about 3 times through for each leg, because all your athletes are going to have a dominant leg, and make them work the weak leg first. And that's a good drill for agility. This exercise is a plyometric exercise, and what we're trying to do is build some explosiveness. The exercise I'm going to show you is called a power skip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip, and I'm going to bring my knee really high, reaching with the opposite hand from the knee that I'm raising. You can do this 2 ways. You can do it for basketball athletes. You can do it for verticality. And when you jump, I always ask them to hang in the air as long as possible. For sprinters, or to do it for speed, I ask them as they do their power skip to push their knee and try to cover as much ground as possible. So I'll do one of each way. So this is what a power skip will look like. Verticality. And now I'm going to come back for speed, pushing my knee as far as possible. And that's the good. You want to do about 25 to 40 yards. You want to start off slowly. Really tell them to express force through their feet, especially down here of your toes, to push off as hard as possible and reach as high to get that hand clearance to kind of help them pull their hips up. And you want to watch for hip height and how far their hips push to make sure they're engaging their posterior chain through this explosive exercise. I'll show you a cool down exercise. This cool down exercise is applicable for any and every athlete. All it is just simple walking. I'm going to show you how I like my athletes to do it. If you're cooling down from a really intense exercise or an intense session and their heart rate has been up, you definitely got blood, it's just going like crazy, your heart rate's up, the last thing you want to do is just sit down. So what I ask them to do, based on the intensity of the exercise, is just walk. The more intense or higher the heart rate, the longer they need to walk. The less intensity, the less they need to walk. I like for my athletes to put their hands up behind their head. What this does, it takes all the weight from their upper body away from their lungs so they can inflate their lungs. And I tell them to breathe and inflate their lungs from underneath their belly button. So they're getting a really big, deep breath, no short breaths, big, long breaths, and we're just going to walk. If you've been running, you want to walk at a pretty good speed. If there's been something else, you can bring that speed down. So I would just have them just walk while taking big, deep breaths. Just like this. And as I say, based on the intensity and heart rate, if it's elevated, you might walk for a quarter of a mile. If it was something a little bit, heart rate was not elevated, you might be a little lower. Make sure that they're upright, they're not bending over, they're inflating those lungs, and just let them walk until you can look at them, ask them their name, full name, or their address. When they can say that without having to stop and take a breath, you've usually got them back to a normal heart rate. This exercise is for flexibility. What we're working on here is our hips into our groin. And I've got a little sliding disc here. You can use a towel, especially if you have like a laminate or wood floor. Sometimes you just spray some end dust on a sock and use that. As long as it glides and doesn't catch. So I've got a gliding disc. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my weight on my off leg, that being my left leg here. I'm going to put all my weight on it, push my hips back, just like I would if I was going into a squat. And I'm going to allow my right leg to slide out as far as my range of motion will allow. I'm never going to force it. We're going to go straight out, and then I'm going to bring it back, and then I'm going to push it back 120 degrees to open those hips up just a little more. So this is what it's going to look like. As you go out, exhale and relax. Anytime we're trying to do any kind of stretching, we always want to have a good exhale phase. Don't hold your breath, because then you're going to introduce tension into the exercise. So this is what it's going to look like. All my weight here on this off leg, hips going back, sliding out, coming in. Now I'm going to go 120 degrees back, push it back, it's back. At no time whatsoever during this exercise, you want to go out, stop, and pull back in. That means you transferred your weight over into the leg that is sliding. If you do that, don't count the rep, recenter, make sure you're pushing hard for the arch of the foot on your off leg, hips going back, and just allow that to glide on out. Some people's range of motion will be further than others. That's okay. Work to yours specifically. Out, back, 120 degrees back. And that's going to give you some hip and lower body flexibility.